I do on a genuine level. I just think the amount of bad will, bad faith that Celtic seem to have operated under in terms of the way they've treated other clubs and their own employees, their own players. And I'm thinking of people like Stephen Welsh and Yang and
Yeah.
Adam Ida, Inamura, and now Yamada, which we'll come on to, is a different issue. Is shocking in terms of people going for medicals or people having deals agreed. I mean, listen, I know this is football, and I know everyone's growing up and all that sort of thing, and consenting adults, etc. But you know, one thing that Celtic, always had the sense that they were at least respectful to the people they were doing business with, other football clubs. But we honestly seem to be in a position where we are just simply reflecting the person who's in control. We have no respect for anybody else. We're right, they're wrong. Everything has to be on our terms. There's no room for maneuver. If you don't like it, then f you, basically. And we've all worked for different organisations and worked with different people, and the culture is set from the top. And if you have a working in a culture where that is how people operate, and it's driven by fear, and it's driven by you do what I say and no questions asked, then guess what? People start to behave in a way that's acceptable to the person who gives them their bonuses or grants them their authority. The behaviour of Celtic throughout this transfer window, irrespective of the outcomes and the results. Let's be true to what we are. We're a performance podcast. We try to put performance first and explain outcome rather than celebrate or cry about outcome, and then not worry about performance, whether it's actually good or bad or indicative of future performance. The performance, irrespective of who we have brought in, of Celtic as a football club and as an employer, has been appalling, absolutely appalling, and that has to go to the blame for that has to go to the person who sets the tone, who sets the culture, who sets the expectations for the employees within the club. I get the sense that nobody is operating in a way that they would have been trained or expected to under normal circumstances. The sea level within the club don't seem to be doing their job. The football operations department don't seem to be doing their job. And maybe because they don't feel they can. And I'm sure they're not happy. I'm sure there are lots of people in the football club that are not happy about this, and I'm sure Brendan Rodgers is not happy. I'm sure lots of people are not happy, and that's maybe something we can think about when we get onto the topic of change again, and where we go from here. But my overriding feeling really is sadness, as I say, sadness that the club is now such a laughing stock in terms of transfer negotiations. Must be a terrible place to work. Has trodden all over a number of young men's careers in this transfer window, and it's just an appalling way to do business.